Hey guys, it's Andrew from Collective Intelligence, and today we are working on our track from start to finish. It's episode number 2, and today we are gonna be working on basses. So come with me, we're gonna jump into Ableton and we're gonna make some really cool bass sounds. Cool, so I've got the little loop that we made open up in front of me here, and I'll play it for you to hear again. Nice and simple little loop, right? And I want to make some additional basses to accompany it. And we're not entirely certain whether this first sub that we've made is gonna make the final cut. It's just an idea for now. I'm gonna go ahead and create another MIDI track. I'm gonna create another MIDI clip by going, selecting the area, Control-Shift-M. And now that I've got the MIDI clip, I can draw in a note, and I'm just going to remind myself, okay, we're on F. So let's go ahead and draw a note and make it the full octave long, just for this moment. And we're going to use analog. I'm going to open up analog, and I'm going to turn off the second oscillator. I'm going to change this to a sine wave, and I'm going to go ahead and play it. Now that's too high on my keyboard. I'm gonna knock it down a little bit lower. I'm just gonna pull my keyboard out. And I'm gonna drop it down an octave. Ooh, that's a fat sound. Ain't that sounding nice? Now, disclaimer, you are going to need headphones or speakers that play low. Otherwise, you ain't gonna hear it. You ain't. So that's really high. Drop it down. Not low enough. Drop it down. Shift plus down arrow. Shift plus down arrow. Shift. Too low. Okay. It's as good as we're gonna get. So we could change the grid to 16th notes, and I'm going to show you quickly how we could kind of draw in, you know, a little pattern. Now that's a little bit too quick. Let's try. Don't know whether that's going to sound any good with the kick, but it's actually kind of cool. But there's a little bit of like clicking and messing around that's happening, presumably due to the fact that that sub will be playing a bit longer than the actual clip, and then the kick's hitting in it and they're just interfering with each other. But actually I feel like the and the fact that the sub's hitting on the kick right there as well, which we could even it's pretty cool. Gives it a pretty cool movement. If I just turn that sub off. So kick, maybe this hit here is not appropriate. Maybe we could try a low hit. It's very cool. It's very cool. Sweet. So there's an idea for sub. That's a very cool idea right there. So sub 2, it's a basic idea. Duplicate it. And let's go ahead and just create like sustained notes as well. So we've got kick there. yeah, because that. What if we move that? What about, so I'm just going to keep playing around with stuff, guys. I hope you don't mind watching this. And I'm just, the way that I'm arranging this sub, just for a little bit of context as to what I'm like actually doing, is I'm paying attention to where the kick is, and I'm making sure that it doesn't fall on where the kick's playing. So then I don't have to even worry about like separating the frequency, like side chaining, sorry, the kick to the bass, and I can just focus on a rhythm that works around, you know, what we got already. So that's one idea. Look, that's one idea right there. And technically that doesn't need to be on its own clip, but yeah. And these notes actually may not even be in scale, right? But we would find the correct notes once we've determined that the rhythmic idea is going to maybe, you know, go in the right direction for the track. So I would call that idea 1, right? And that's actually a little different to what I had actually planned for the track. That doesn't matter. It could still be the way that it could be the way that the track should go. So let's try just working on something that'll be slightly different to that. What we could do is we could be putting these hits that follow straight after the kicks, right? And then we can try different styles of basses. Maybe we could do a few more in there just because it's a bit empty, just to try it out. Oh, that's going to fall on the kick. I'm breaking the rule, man. Oh, I quite like that. Maybe that one doesn't work. That's cool, man. I like it. It's quite bouncy. That's another idea right there. Okay, so let's go idea 2. That's a bouncier idea. And I mean, as long as we're inspired, we can keep making ideas. And these ideas can either be all compared to each other when we've got like a context of how the track should be. And then we can pick the golden ones that are the best and delete everything else. Or if we determine that we've just got plenty of great ideas because we're just shitting gold, we could use those ideas to start different tracks. And we can just take the ones that are most cohesive together for this track, and then later on when we start a new track, we could pull these ideas out and use them as the basis of a new tune. So anyway, let's keep moving forward with what we're doing. So these are sub basses, and what I wanted to do is do some kind of like, what would you call it? It's not really a mid-rangey bass, but it's more mid-range focused. Yeah, let's say a mid-range bass. I think that's the best way to put it. And this is going to be like a tonal bass rather than a sub bass. So we're going to use Serum for this, and we'll come over here, we'll drag and drop that. So I've got a sawtooth wave right off. I'm going to change that to an analog sine, the same as what I did for that guy up there. I'm going to take oscillator B, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to FM from B. So this oscillator is going to FM this one. I'm going to pop it up a couple of octaves. I should have turned notifications off on my phone. Hopefully that doesn't keep happening. And now I've got this atrocious sound. Cool. So what we want to do, I want to do trigger. Do not want the crazy click at the end. Cool, that's better. Gonna unison, detune slightly. Just trying. Just gonna try put that LF. Sounds too alien. Cool, I quite like that. Let's go ahead and distort it. And we're going to use diode, and diode is going to destroy it. Not as much as... whoa. Not as much as that's going to destroy it. Okay, let's have... Yeet. Yeet. So let's let that play. Nope. Needs to be better. Let's go ahead and just quickly put a little bit of whoa, clicking all the buttons before we know what we want to press. We want to go 1/8 dotted ping pong. So this is kind of something that I want to do, but I want it to have more like impact. Maybe we need to go compressor, and we need the old multi-band. There we go. Just gonna push the mid-range a bit. That's getting to where we want it. Cool. Now, if we have it playing constantly like that, it's going to be pretty boring pretty quick. So the idea is to create an arrangement that's going to be fairly sparse and minimal, so as to maximize the potency of all of the sounds. So I really like that bass loop, by the way, in case you guys didn't know. Yeah, that little. Cool. So what I'm going to do is we're going to expand this pattern out a little bit, and you'll see I just changed that without actually telling you what I was doing. I'll come back to it in a second. So I'm going to grab the initial loop, which is 2 bars long. Going to duplicate it. Cool. So that was Control D. You should be able to see the shortcuts I'm pressing. So we've got pattern A, pattern B, pattern A, pattern C, okay? And we can represent that by actually, I don't want to consolidate that though. I was going to consolidate it. So what we can do, so then, okay, so what we're doing there, I feel like it kind of needs that. We can do cool things with walking this bass around as well if we want to. Yeah. We could even try idea 2 leading into idea 1. Yeah, some of that's working. Cool. So we're expanding our ideas and we are adding variation already. I took that out there so that pattern A and pattern B are not identical. And then pattern C or pattern A again is identical to the first one. And then this one is different again. So these two patterns are different. These two patterns are the same. And that sound here is like a mid-range. Cool. So we'll pop that. So what we could do is we could duplicate that channel and we can move it over here and we can change the way that it's moving. I want... That's pretty cool. So we're going to use that. So we're just using the volume. Let me put this one. Whew. Nope. Cool. So we can try that as like a variation. Mid-range 1, mid-range 2. Cool. All right. So there's some ideas that we've just developed and maybe I'll just check how long the video is going for. Cool. So we're like 18 or so minutes in. So what I might do, I just deleted those 2 return channels. I'm going to make a new return track and I'm going to go snare verb because I'm tired of hearing that snare without some nice reverb on it. And we might go Valhalla, maybe the plate. Let's have a listen. We're going to use our ears. Imagine that. And let's send it all. Mate, that's nice already, isn't it? Maybe it's a bit wet. I'll tell you what, team. I like that so much that I'm just going to duplicate it just to remember. But let's have a listen to some of the different algorithms or the modes. So, in my opinion, that one sounds better. I like Chrome because it's brighter. Ooh, it's a bit darker, a bit moodier. Anyway, yeah, what were we doing? Okay. Nope. Nah, it's not as... This one sucks too. Maybe I should let it... Oh, maybe that one's nice. That's smooth. That's still freaking loud, it seems. And we'll get that working like somewhere in the actual track that makes sense. Still very loud. And, you know, what I believe in firmly is that, piss that reverb off, I believe that we should have things in the same acoustic space, give or take the length of the reverb, right? I'm going to give it a bit more. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. So where were we? Unobtainium. Duplicate it. Close it. What about adamantium? That's nice. Feel that's smoother though. And I like the decay better of unobtainium. Adamantium's like... Okay. I reckon unless there's a new contender, unobtainium's got it. Nah, boring. Nah, still got it. What was that? Was that radium or yeah? Boring. Back to chrome. Unobtainium takes the cake, kiddos. So we could play around with the decay, the size and the width, right? So do we want it to be extra wide? Do we want it to be larger? And then we can cut low frequency response and that sort of thing. What I would typically do is just go like this because I like to see things. So I could say, oh shit, that's a bit extreme. I could say, all right, well, anything sort of below this will sound a little bit muddy if it's run through a reverb, and I like very clean production, so I would not allow things like the mid-range muddiness of the bass to come through there, and I just take the tops and let the tops come through in the reverb. So if I see, it's got content down here and here that I just don't want it to come through. Don't want it. I want to EQ it. And yeah, sure, I could do it with the reverb. But like I said, I actually prefer to see what's happening in regards to using like an EQ on my reverb. Because for whatever reason, just with these values, I'm just like, give me more. I need to understand what's happening. So, really simple and really nice sounding reverb, Valhalla plate. So boom, there we go. I reckon we'll probably use that in varying lengths for a lot of what's going on in our track. We'll make a lot of atmosphere, and just quickly to give you an idea, what we'll do is we can actually rename this. Rather than snare verb, we can say this is like a medium verb, right? So that's the medium length verb. Long verb will be that reverb and that EQ pasted, but now this is going to be like, instead of that, it's going to be like maybe double the length. And then if we get something like a hat, amazing little hat. Here's a hat, a Mr. Bill hat. Amazing. We put it here and we say, yeah, have it. All the way to the long reverb, have it. That might be a little bit in our face, but that would be, you know, if I actually put it towards the... For whatever reason, that could be a nice little splashing thing. Maybe a hat's a shit idea, but something... What about it? What about a shaker? Oh. That's the video. There you go. We just got some fat bass ideas. We got a bit of a mid-range rip. We're gonna have to make heaps of them, so get ready for that. And we've gone ahead and started arranging the spatial effects that we're gonna use, because this style of dubstep is all about the depth and the sultriness that comes from a smooth decay of a reverb. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun, and I will see you guys in the next video of making a track from start to finish. Peace.